Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, and we've got a lot to discuss in today's show surrounding Kyler Murray. The trade rumors are heating up, and the Giants, according to some on Twitter, are a team that's interested in Kyler Murray and taking, some notice of the situation and everything that's going down. Kind of to set the stage a little bit. Kyler wants a new contract. He unfollowed and deleted everything on Instagram a couple weeks ago related to the Arizona Cardinals. Then he brought it all back. But in the time between that, his agent didn't have a comment on the situation. He wants a new contract, and deservedly so. He's been a solid quarterback, still has 2 more years left on his rookie deal, but he's eligible for a contract extension. Then Tom Pelisero dropped this bomb on Twitter today and said, the Cardinals have yet to make a contract offer to Pro Bowl quarterback Kyler Murray, whose agent informed the team weeks ago he was pulling his opening proposal off the table. Other teams are monitoring closely. Arizona insists Murray won't be traded. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and these Kyler Murray trade rumors, they're not going to go away anytime soon unless he signs a contract extension and agrees to one with the Arizona Cardinals. I think it's telling that his agent proposed a contract extension, and the team didn't answer it, didn't talk about it, and didn't respond with a contract offer. And then on Twitter, I saw this tweet from a verified account. So on Twitter, if you got the blue check mark, it's got to be real. And he said, what teams would go after Kyler? Giants, Panthers, Falcons. Well. So we got to talk about it. It was on Twitter by a blue check mark, and I think it makes sense. The Giants, they have a new regime. Brian Dable, Joe Shane, they didn't draft Daniel Jones. They aren't tied to Daniel Jones, and the fact, just like the Panthers and the Falcons, they need a quarterback too, so it makes sense why those teams were all mentioned in this tweet. We'll continue to break down the Kyler Murray trade rumors. I got a trade proposal, an idea that I think could make sense for both sides that we'll get to later on in the show, but I want you to weigh in early on. Should the Giants trade for Kyler Murray? It's going to take a lot. They actually have the salary cap space to fit him under this year's salary cap and then give him a contract extension, which would eat up into next year and the year after salary cap. The Giants, they have about $95 million in cap space for next season. So answer it for me. Should the Giants trade for him? Type T for trade, or you can go down and type P for pass. Look, if a Kyler Murray trade happens, we're going to be going live on this channel. So subscribe and have your notification turned on. Because if we've learned anything through this offseason, things happen at random times, and you don't want to miss it because we're going to be going live. And if it's for Kyler Murray, a party is going to be happening on this channel. And we're also going to be going live for the NFL Draft, picks 5 and 7. And I don't want you to miss that either. And help us get to 7.5 thousand subscribers. We're trying to get there by draft day. Look, free Giants videos every single day. You can't make it up. You can't beat it. Go hit that red button right now. When you talk about Kyler Murray and the type of quarterback he is, I believe he's one of the best in the NFL and has one of the highest ceilings in the NFL. Last year, kind of struggled a little bit down the stretch. Didn't play well against the Rams in the playoffs, but he still had a solid season. Completed almost 70% of his passes, almost 4,000 yards through the air, 24 tutties to a 10 interception ratio. But the thing that separates Kyler Murray from the average Joe to one of the best in the business, it's what he can do with those little legs. 88 carries, almost 500 rushing yards, another 5 TDs on the ground, and almost 5 yards per carry. Kyler Murray, in my opinion, is a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League, and he's only in year 3, entering year 4 this season. The former first overall pick, the guy who lit Oklahoma on fire in college football, someone I was desperately hoping would fall to the Giants in that draft where they eventually took Daniel Jones and Kyler Murray went 1. Kyler Murray is the real deal. We see him do stuff on the football field every single Sunday that we haven't seen any other quarterback do. It's like he's a Russell Wilson, but more athletic. He can go and be more of a rushing attack. He's someone that can carry an offense by himself. He did that from time to time in his career so far with the Arizona Cardinals, something that unfortunately Daniel Jones has not been able to do for the New York Giants. So this may seem like a silly question for you, but factor in the Giants, they'd have to give up multiple first-round picks to get Kyler Murray, and they'd have to give him a big contract. But that's what you do. You pay good players big-time dollars because they're big-time players and they deserve that. So let me know. If you could have one quarterback for the New York Giants for the next 10 years, who would it be? Would you rather it be Kyler Murray? You can go down and type KM. Or if you think Daniel Jones is the guy, there's nothing wrong with that. You can go down and type DJ. This NFL offseason, we've already seen some blockbuster trades go down. So I want to show you guys what trades have happened so we can kind of get an idea of what it would take to get Kyler Murray to the New York Giants. The Browns, they got Deshaun Watson just a couple of weeks ago. They also got a 2024 6th-round pick, but they gave up the farm. They gave up everything they had in the cupboard. A 2022, 2023, and a 2024 first-round pick, a 2022 4th-round pick, a 2023 3rd, and a 2024 4th. So 3 first-round picks, a 4th, 2 4s, and a 3, and you get Watson and a measly 6th-round pick. And then the Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos, they agreed on a trade to send Russell Wilson to Mile High. The Broncos, they got a 4th-round pick in Wilson, but they had to give up Drew Lock, Shelby Harris, Noah Fant, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a 5th-round pick. So to go and get a franchise quarterback, it's going to cost a lot. And why? Because it is the most important position in the National Football League. And when you have a top 10 guy on your team, like Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson, it makes your chances in life in the NFL much higher when it comes to winning football games. So what would a trade for Kyler Murray, in my opinion, look like? I think it would look like something like this. And honestly, I'm not even sure if this is enough. Kyler Murray, he's younger than Deshaun. He's younger than Russell Wilson. And he's going to want a big contract as well, so you got to factor all of that in. But the Giants, they get Kyler Murray. They'd have to give up pick 5 this year, pick 36, their 2nd-round pick. I think a future 1st-round pick. And then you can add in James Bradberry to clear some cap space, and then Daniel Jones, because there's no reason to keep DJ if you trade for Kyler. You already got Tyrod Taylor to be the backup. So let me know. Like I said, I don't even know if this is enough for the Arizona Cardinals to pull the trigger. But hey, you be the judge of this situation right now. Who were to win this trade if it went down like this? Do you think it'd be the Giants because they get Kyler Murray, go down and type NYG? Or would it be the Arizona Cardinals because they get a haul of draft picks and they can continue to build the roster with maybe their next franchise quarterback and Daniel Jones? If you think it's the Cardinals, go down and type ARI. We're going to continue to break down all the Kyler Murray trade rumors and destinations and proposals. But first, I want you to be looking swaggy on NFL Draft Day, just like the guys that the Giants are going to pick. You can rock one of the lids that the draftees will be wearing. All you got to do is go to chatsports.com/GiantsDraftHat. That's chatsports.com/GiantsDraftHat. I'll make sure to put that in the comments and the description of this video. Look, make yourself feel like you're a part of the NFL draft. Our guy, maybe Ika Mukwano or Evan Neal, he's going to be wearing this hat when he goes in chest bumps or gives Roger Goodell a hug coming up in 2 weeks. So make sure you're doing the same. Chatsports.com/GiantsDraftHat. My whole thing on the Kyler Murray or the Giants trading for any quarterback is this. If Daniel Jones struggles this year, you're going to have to go and make a move for a quarterback next year. And what are your options? Maybe go trade for a guy or have to move up in the draft to go and draft a guy. Yeah, you're going to move on from Daniel Jones if you have a bad season. So maybe you have a top 10 pick again. And it wouldn't take too much, right, you would think, to get back into the top 1, 2, or 3 picks because Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, in my opinion, are going to go 1 and 2 in the 2023 NFL draft. And who knows if Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud will ever be better than Kyler Murray. We know who Kyler Murray is. At his best, he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. He can carry your team to the playoffs. You can build your offense around him, and he can be the face of your franchise for a winning football team. And also this, if you think, hey, the Giants, they can just trade up for Bryce Young or trade up for C.J. Stroud, it wouldn't cost that much. That's cap. Trading up in the 2023 NFL draft is going to be extremely expensive, much more expensive than it would be this year because there's no clear franchise quarterback in this year. Maybe Malik Willis will be that. Maybe Kenny Pickett will be that. But C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young, these are guys that are already talked about and mocked at being the number 1 and number 2 overall pick. And there's teams next year that have multiple first-round picks to have ammunition to go and get that guy. The Eagles, who knows if Jalen Hurts is the guy? If they don't, they got 2 first-round picks to move up and go get one of the top dogs. The Detroit Lions, they also have 2 picks. Same with the Texans, the Dolphins, and the Seahawks. So not only are you going to be competing with the teams that pick first and second, you're also going to be competing with these 5 teams that have multiple first-round picks in the NFL draft. I think it's very important to think about all of this. Look, I don't necessarily think the Giants are going to trade for Kyler Murray, but I don't think it's a dumb idea. I don't think it's something that you should just shoo off and say, that would never happen. Because if we learned anything through the 2022 NFL offseason, you never say never. Look, I was producing a Browns video a couple months ago, and we talked about how Deshaun Watson said no, he didn't want to go to the Cleveland Browns. And then a day later, he agreed to a trade to go to the Cleveland Browns. Tom Brady retired, then he unretired. Devontae Adams, he got traded from the Packers to the Raiders. Tyreek Hill, he got traded. Crazy shit happens in the NFL, and I think Kyler Murray being traded to the New York Giants honestly would be one of the least crazy things that were to happen. Why? The Giants need a quarterback. Trading up for one next year is going to be really expensive. And do we really want to hitch our wagon and pass up on the opportunity of going to trade for Kyler Murray and saying we're going all in on Daniel Jones, a guy that hasn't showed us anything really that he can be a franchise quarterback? I think that's risky. And look, I'm not out on Daniel Jones, but I think as a franchise, you always have to think forward. The quarterback position is a position you always look to upgrade, like the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield, he was solid. He probably deserved a second contract with the Browns. But what did they go do? They mortgaged their franchise and their future to go and get one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. And I'd say right now, they're sitting pretty well. I appreciate everyone that's made today's show a part of their day. If you like today's video, give us a like and go give me a follow on Twitter @MarshallGreen_. Another way to stay up to date on the latest Giants news and rumors.